long time ago in the Vedic time, so on. And it all comes from, these particular exercises come from Rishi Mandukya. Mandukya, if you understood, is famous for writing the 12 sutras of Mandukya Upanishad. And it is stated that once a frog landed on Mandukya's hand, and suddenly the frog jumped off, and he felt no pressure on the hand. And from there he realized, how can this be? Then he thought, because all Rishi Munis were highly intelligent. Then he worked out how to generate power by aligning yourself with Akarshan Shakti. So Akarshan Shakti is mentioned in the Agni Purana, Gravity. So by releasing all tension in the body and gathering that tension here, like in a comb, and then you can release it in a certain way, then you get more power for punching, kicking, striking, pulling, pushing, and so on. And so meditation that we do is not just has spiritual benefits, to focus the mind and so on, but also in terms of physical strength as well, and fitness and so on as well. And as a consequence, Namjap is the first bhakti. That's the highest bhakti, like Namjap. Okay, there's Raj Yoga, which is control the emotions, so on. The Western world, because when I come to India, I just see coconuts. And the brown on the outside, but they're all white inside, really. They even dress like Gore, like they talk like Gore, so on, and even smell like Gore nowadays as well. The Western world revolves around time. Even you guys, there's not been many of you without a clock, without a watch. Everything's around time. The traditional Indian world revolved around energy, around Shakti. Okay, so if you were to get the right man to sleep, 8 hours for human beings, right man sleep, and when you move in a way that you don't fight gravity. So when I move, I float. I explained this last time and so on. When I lift my arm there, I lifted it without using my muscles. I just let my gravity relax through, and that tension released from my body is where I get my power. You'll be surprised how much tension you have in your body, and you can release it. And then also, I don't want to worry about things. I don't get angry about things. This. He said this, she said this. I hate them, I love them, and blah, 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 this, and so on. I couldn't care less. Otherwise, you lose your, again, energy is lost again. It's all about conserving energy. Through proper sleep, proper diet, proper way of moving with gravity. What's called conserving your emotions, but not what's called wasting them on stupid idea, what's called hate and anger and so on. And then Simran, meditation, to calm and relax you down, focus on mind and get the right perspective on life. And that is the highest yoga. Okay? And then from there, the Raj Yoga is controlling the emotions. There's Sage Yoga, which is natural, spontaneous. The physical yoga, we don't really have in Sikhism. Even though there's reference to yoga being done in Dasan Granth by Guru Tegh Bahadur, Mata Gudri, but that reference is more to Nam Jap and so on. But there's a yoga mentioned in Sikhani Bhaktamala, a text written by 16 or 17, by Mani Singh, refers to Guru Nanak as practicing Chikitsa Yoga. Now, Chikitsa in Hindi means a doctor. So Chikitsa Yoga means a healing yoga. Now, that same Chikitsa Yoga which practiced Guru Nanak practiced, in time Sikhism came to know in Guru Hargobind's time, we call it Dev Rahas. Okay? So when we move, I don't move with gravity. I don't move with muscle, I move with gravity and so on. As a consequence, even, like this year I had a big operation here. And I was walking 3 hours in 2 days. Doing Dynabarica and running for 1 hour in 2 weeks. And my recovery, these guys will tell you, is exactly 100%. That sort I just keep just to smack people with. I don't need it. So the healing happens quick as well because I'm not engaging the muscles and so on and so on. And that yoga becomes known as Devas, the way that the secret of the gods. And with that, there's an exercise regime called Sanjam Kriya Brayam. Sur Veer Brayam Kamayan hai by Gadas. So this, the warriors, any warrior who wants to fight needs to be fighting fit, physically fit. Okay, so in the text, it talks about running, it talks about lifting weights and so on. The ways of running, the ways of swimming, the ways of lifting weight are unique in Shastra. Our friend here, he's a bodybuilder, and come this way please, I'll show you. Now you've done weight training all your life, and he's been a national bodybuilding champion and so on. Okay, you know you guys, you can see his muscles and so on. And what's the difference between weightlifting in this method, the Desi Indian way, and the method you're used to, which is the Western way?
Earlier I used to lift using my muscles only. So the tendons and the connective tissue, and that is not properly worked up always. But in this traditional way, it is easier to lift weights. You can lift more weights without using your muscles. So that translates into being less fatigued. Obviously, in form of contest bodybuilding, it might not be true, but for general public, it's very good.
Okay, good. So we have a testimonial expert here who lifts weights and so on. So what we have now is there's a whole system of martial training for warriors, which is called Sanjam Kriya Varyam. Okay, Sanjam means self-discipline. Kriya practice, Varyam, we are warriors, young warriors. So self-discipline is the warriors. So this is practiced by all, not just Sikh warriors, all Sanatana Shatra, the warriors who practice this kind of exercises. And they're traced back to the Nat Shatra in old days. Obviously they changed over the centuries. That is there. And Sanjam Varyam superficially looks like yoga because it's older than yoga. Let me show you. In Hatha Yoga, who does Hatha Yoga here? You looked at anybody who's Hatha Yoga here or knows about it? Veerasanas. There are Veerasanas in Hatha Yoga? Veerasanas. Yes. Warrior postures. Yes. Yes. But the yogis are pacifists. They have nobody warrior inclination, so they don't exist. But in Kshatriya, the Veerasanas, the same ones are used. So they come from a warrior tradition. Because you can't be a pacifist and then do the warrior tradition and so on as well. So it's different. So in Sanjam Kriya, we have these warrior postures, draw swords, attack and so on. And so that is there. But yoga, no. As you talk about 3HO, Kundalini Yoga, that's just made up. That's a guy from Delhi. There's Jenny people Delhi guy who did a bit of Hatha Yoga with Narendra called Brahmacharya, whatever, Indira Gandhi's friend. He did it called yoga with him a bit. Narendra. Yeah, Narendra Hatha Yoga. So he did that with Narendra. He then took a bit of Sikhi, a Dasi version from a Birsa Das sadhu, from Sanbha Birsa Das here, who was not a Sampradaya Dasi, but yeah, he's sort of a Dasi. And then he took New Age stuff from the hippies in the 60s, and just like many Indians in the 1960s went over to the Americas and basically presented this neo-yoga kind of stuff, and a lot of them are Badnam anyway. Those guys, he did the same thing in the Sikh world. But there is no such thing as Kundalini Yoga. There's a concept of Kundalini in Hatha Yoga, there's Laya Yoga, but there's no, that yoga is not, doesn't exist. There's a Dr. Talutin Singh, so on, Anurag's father, who did a beautiful book, basically just blowing this apart in the 1970s. He went there, he met Yogi Bhajan, well, Bhajan Singh. He met Bhajan Singh, he knew his father, he knew his family, he knew everybody else, went to his pen and everywhere else, and he writes a book. It's in English, I think. It's like Sikhism and Tantrism. So don't get confused. Sikhs and yoga, generally, Bhakti Yoga, yes, Nam Jap, that's what Bhakti Yoga is. And that's mentioned in Sikh and Bhakti Yoga. Chikitsa Yoga, it's the healing yoga, it's this Deva has, which we shot with the warriors do. That is practice. Nam Jap, Saj Yoga, Raj Yoga, and so on. So Nam Jap is the only kind of yoga that we actually practice. It's a Bhakti Yoga. That's what we practice.
I'm very curious to know about something. So you've mentioned how there are extreme opinion of some Behams who completely disregard to the extent that they might even go and destroy idols. But you acknowledge, but you don't worship idols.
No. So let's have a look. In the Sikh tradition, there's no tradition of destroying idols. There's only one tale that one time in Dagestan, Majbi, there's a text written by a Farsi guy who stayed with Guru Hargobind for about 3-4 years, and he talks about an incident where a Sikh went to Naina Devi and chopped the idol's nose off. And he came back, and of course the Pandits were really pissed off. And they came and complained to Guru Hargobind. And Guru Hargobind looked around Sikhs and he asked them. And this one Sikh got up and said, look, if the Devi can vouch that I was the one chopped the nose off, then I will admit my guilt. He was just making a point that if you just bow before the idol, it's not going to give you Shakti. Now, what is an idol like? Let me explain this how it's looked at. And later on, I'm not going to defend any Hindus here. Later on in times of Guru Gobind Singh, one time, Kirpal Chand, Guru Gobind Singh Mama Ji, and Guru Gobind Singh's young lad were hunting. And they saw this high mountain on Naina Devi. And they asked Kirpal Chand, the Guru Gobind Singh asked his Mama Ji, who's this? And he explained, this is Naina Devi, the goddess highest above all, who sees all and everything. And she's the one who empowers all the warriors. So this is Surprakash. So then Guru Gobind Singh bowed to her. So you say, that's a contradiction. They're chopping those up, they're buying. You don't understand this. In the Guru Hargoswami, they're making a point. You take Guru Granth Sahib, which is a book, piece of paper written there. I can bow to it all my life. But if I don't take the teachings, there are three things in Guru Granth Sahib: Sat, Santokh and Bachao. There's Sat, Santokh, Bachao. Jeko khave, Jeko ponche. Only if you eat it, take the food and then digest it. If I were just to drink this water, put it in my mouth and spit it out, it has no virtue. So the Guru Granth Sahib and the idol are the same level if you do not take their lessons aboard. The Devi idol, okay, in my Khara, when you go to my Khara, you'll see an image of Devi, Jagdambe. Some more fanatical Nahan types, Sikhs, put up in there, but they can't do much because I can beat them up. Okay? So what happens is, they say, if you're intelligent, they'll ask, why do you have a murti of Devi there? Why did Maharaj Singh's Nishan Sahib have a Durga on a tiger, and they had an image of a tiger and a Hanuman, which also means rest on there as well? Why do you have historical Sikh weapons, which have images of Devi on there? Why do you have what's called Guru Granth Sahibs and Dasam Granths written at the height of the Sikh Empire in the 19th century, and they got the gods and goddesses and all that? Why do you have most images in all Gurdwaras, which have been wiped out now? So if you go to Baba Atal, before it was whitewashed by idiots, you had whole images of Devi Devta and so on, even an image of the Devta attending Guru Nanak's wedding and so on. 60-70% of images in Gurdwaras, in fresco art, is usually Devi Devta. Okay? Now, there's a reason for this. Okay? Now, I'm going to talk with Devi only. I said Nahan, so there's Sikhs here, like, okay? So some of them might be saying Sabias, and some might be missionaries. These missionary people don't like me. Okay? I like them, I like everybody. Now watch, let me explain this. This is very important to these Sikhs. Not to the rest of them, but to you. So let me point out, when you're going to say, the Devi, the eight-armed goddess, the Ashpuja Deva, is but in Punjabi we became Manu Kiran Kita, Vyaktigat, or in English, a personified form of a talwar, sword, asi. When you wield a sword, it has 8 cuts: Dharna, Varna, Samtal, then Tirshit. And the word hat in Sanskrit means strike. But of course, in the vernacular, in Pakya, in Punjabi, and now Hindi, hat means hand. So thus, those 8 cuts becomes the hands. Now, when we move in that mantra, so when I move, I generate power and shift my body mass with my hips and throwing my hips out, my shoulders is very feminine. So in that way, you get a woman with 8 arms. And then when she stealthily moves forward, stealthily, it is like a tiger. In this way, the sword gets personified as a beautiful woman with 8 arms sitting on a tiger. Now this personified form, Manukinja, this is smart stuff, intelligent stuff. Sikhi is Khandyotikhi and is Baronikhi. Okay? It is subtle. Indians throughout the world are known as nerds. If you ask anybody, what do you think of Indians? Nerds. Most CEOs of big companies now, Google and everybody else, they're all Indian for some reason, because we are nerds. We are highly intelligent people, super intelligent actually. And when you ask them, what about physically, are they good athletes and fighters and all that? No, they're a bunch of doctors. They can't fight, which is not true. The Kshatriyas, they could fight. Kshatriya is highly intellectual art as well. So is the whole Indian culture. We are a smart race, traditionally. I'm not saying everybody's smart nowadays. And Sikhi, traditional Sikh traditions, extremely smart. All the Gurus are well educated. All the Gurbani is written in various languages. It's written in Rag and so on. And you cannot dispute the intellect in those verses of Guru Gobind Singh or Guru Nanak Dev, who are in the Gurus. And same with our Bhakts. They were smart people. Listen to Kabir Ji And you're thinking, shit, that is fucking super smart. Now, what we have now is the Manuki Nasru of a sword, the personified form, Kavis took that and they wrote poetry. Okay, if I say Ekdahare Navan Ai Durga Shah. So one day the Queen Durga came to bathe. Now instead of Queen Durga, I said one day the Queen's sword came to bathe. Indra Virtasai Apane Hadi. So Indra then came and told about his condition to the sword. Chinta Karanakai, Devi Devanwakya, and then Devi said, the sword said, don't worry, I'll take care of this. Uhishi Magaya Rakesh Pakana. So then she called forth that lion, the tiger. None of that makes sense if you just said it's a sword, 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 sword. So a poet made into a beautiful woman with 8 arms, riding a tiger and so on, to give you a story. Artists, when they painted Durga, when they made those beautiful murtiya and the mandal and so on, they took that personified form and they made the flower into this gorgeous form and so on. Same with warriors. If I teach you Narsinga Yuddhan, which is a fighting style based on a tiger, I'm going to have an image of a tiger in my head. I can't think of a donkey and then perform a tiger form. I need to, so Devi, I need that image to perform. So that's why Sikhs, Sanatan Sikhs are very comfortable with imagery. They're not idol worshippers, but they're comfortable with imagery. They have images of Durga. If you go to Hajur Sahib now and there, you go to a takht, and then you look at the panels in gold, you'll have Durga on a tiger riding there. This image was there also in Patna Sahib by 1852 when the earthquake came and destroyed it. There's a whole mandir, with Langar Sahib in the Sahib now, there's a whole mandir, in that place, Langar place, there was actually a mandir of Karaka Devi there, and so on. So Sikhs are very comfortable with Devi, having it on their weapons, having it on their granths, having it on their Nishan Sahibs, the battle standards that the British captured. We actually got that regional standard now in England. They had all this. But there is a personified form of the sword, and the sword is a pratik, meaning it represents something. What does it represent? The Adi Shakti, the primordial force. And the Adi Shakti is like Shakti energy, it can't be created, it can't be destroyed. But Adi Shakti can't be created, destroyed, but it has a Shakti, a source. And the short is we call Brahm, we call Parameshwar, we call Vaheguru. And this Vaheguru is a Hukumaran, a commander. He's the Raja who gives the command. Now, if you have a person, say this guy's boss, but no one listens to the boss. He can talk what he wants, no one gives a trust. They don't care about it. In other words, his hukum has no dam. He's a hukumran, meaning giver is an Arabic word, meaning hukumran means giver of a command, but there's no power in his command. No one listens to him. Then he has no power. So the hukumran is Vaheguru. His power lies in his hukum. And that hukum is the Adi Shakti. So the sword ultimately represents Vaheguru the hukum. That's why all Sikhs, when they do Ardas, which is found at the beginning of Varsi Durga Ji ki or Varsi Bhagavati Ji ki Pacha Dasmi, it always begins Pratham Bhagavati Simar ke Fir Guru Nanak le Dhyaye. First contemplate Bhagavati. Now most Sikhs will tell you Bhagavati means the sword. Ah, brilliant. But what's the sword? It's a metal. A piece of metal with a sharp edge. How can that be before Guru Nanak? How can that be greater than Guru Nanak? He has to represent something. What does he represent? Vaheguru Hukum. So if you translate Bhagavati as I do, as Pratham Vaheguru Hukum manke, Fir Guru Nanak le jaye. Hukum is sabko bahar na koi. Hukum is that. But we use the image for training. And when I lay my weapons out in my kharis, or permatas in Italy, we always have an image of Jagdambe, the mother goddess. Not Durga the 8, but just the Jagdambe. And you say, why is that? Why would you seek have an image of Jagdambe? If I put this weapon down, if I give this weapon now, if I hand you the weapon and say, this weapon belongs to say Shivaji Maratha, someone great, Rana Pratap, Guru Gobind Singh. The way you pick it up and say, whoa, brilliant, this is this. And then I'll give you the same weapon, this belongs to a mass murdering rapist, and so on, kill babies with it and everything else. You're not going to touch it, or look upon it, or have it in your house, or worship it with the same bhavana. You understand? There's emotion. So what we do is, this sword here we got this from, where we got it from. You have no idea what his history is. It could well belong to some psychopath, or to a great warrior. We don't know. Because in history we don't know what the weapons are. So what we do is, we put an image of Jagdambe there. That image tells us right away, when we walk to the house, in which bhavana we are worshipping weapons. So if you walk to a house and there's a picture of Ram there, and you walk to another house and there's a picture of Ravan there, you can have a different emotional reaction to it. So we are devotees of Devi, Chandi, Bhagoti, Wani. Pratham Bhagoti Simrike, Guru Nanak Leta, Bhagwan. But Bhagoti to me means Hukam Vaheguru. That's how we look at it. So Sanatana Sikhism, it's like the Sanatana tradition. It is Khandyotaki, Bharavniki, it is complex, it's subtle. Idiots can easily misconstrue. They can take things out of context. They can take one thing that they don't like and run with it. But a wise person listens to the whole and then decides and so on. So Shastradhar is complex. The culture behind it is complex, and that's where it is. I want to apologize for that. Go for it.
Well, Guruji, last question, I guess. Firstly, you have decided to bring this art back to India, and you also know that there are quite a lot of problems you will have to face once you bring this back.
Yeah.
There is the Khalistan issue, and I'm pretty sure you can also explain to us how has that impacted Srinivasan's life, the division between the Hindus and the Sikhs. So, since the division is there,
Yeah.
and you have clearly pointed out that it is a more recent phenomenon, thanks to the British coming in.
Yeah.
And of course, the Khalistani problem is also quite recent. It's in the 19th century. What is your strategy to bring this art back? How do you plan to bring it? Do you plan on building an akhada or an ashram in India? And do you have any support of organizations like the RSS here? If not, what are the issues?
Let's look at this. This Vidya is Dharmi Vidya. Dharma.
Yeah.
So, Dharma ka mool hai daya. To Dharma daya ka pool. Or Paap ka mool hai abhiman. Hankar like. Okay? So, there's a lot of hankar in the world in general today. Every community, every individual thinks he's the best. Every family thinks, I am the best family. Every individual group, you talk to a Rajput, he's Mochi Hachardi. And you talk to a Singh, his Mochi goes more like. And then you go to a Jat, and his Mochi's up there like. So, in India, you have these basically ego clashes going on everywhere like and so on. Personally, I'm not political at all like. Okay, I'm not Indian, I would say that. I'm British passport, so I belong to a different land altogether. I was brought up in India half, and I was brought up in England half.
Yeah.
At the moment, I travel in different countries. I'll be here now, then I'll go to Italy where my wife is working at the moment. I'll be there for a few weeks. Then I'm in England, then I'll be in a month in Canada, then a month in San Francisco. Then every month I'm in a different country, or two countries. So I don't actually say, I'm a Chakravarti Nahang, except I am globally Chakravarti. So, okay. The Nahangs, my fellow Nahangs in England, India, and they just keep on shooting each other, political fights, even if you're trying to phone them, they won't talk to each other. They're so suspicious of people. Who are you? I said, you know who I am. Even then, they still ask you who you are. It doesn't work. So my strategy is simple, to present the Vidya as is. Okay? At the moment, the Vidya is subtle, it's complex. I come to India twice a year. I'm coming 3 times now. And every time I do a seminar, but a lot of people have problems. Like for instance, the majority of people work, and Indian working hours are very long. Like. That's what I heard. And they work up to 6 days a week,
Yeah, that's true.
and that's it, and they work up to 9, 12 hours. And then when the weekend comes, they're whitewash. Then the kids want. So the men are basically taxi men, and just take the kids here, take the kids there, take the wife there, spend the money and so on. So time is gone. And the same is in Canada, the same is in San Francisco, the same in London. You can take in London, you can take like from one side of London to the other side, it could take you 2 hours getting there. So you, at the end of a weekday, you're working, and in India, in England now, they work at work, then they work at home, and in between are the wife and the kids. And then they get to work, and then when they go to a class, they could be traveling up to 2 hours there, 2 hours back. So the issue now is timing and so on. So a lot of people can't get to classes. A lot of people want the art, but they can't. So what we're doing now is, on the phones, in the next week or two, we have invested over £50,000 to bring out a very app. The app will exist at 3 levels. This app, at the bronze level, you can download free. And all the videos where I demonstrate the art, which you can find on YouTube and Facebook. And we do have probably the largest martial art demonstrative videos and so on. We have more videos on demonstrating Chaturanga than any other martial art in the world, basically. And as a consequence, I've done documents with Discovery, BBC, Last Epic, so on. As a consequence, all those videos, which are just demonstrating the art, we put onto the Bronze app. And any new videos, like I shot some yesterday, will also go to the Bronze app. And you can download that free. And what we'll have now is just a bit of primo put onto Facebook, but the rest will go on there. And then we're giving you an option at the end that if you wish, if you desire, if you understand the significance of why we must bring back Kshatriya Dharma back into India, don't forget, the Veds, the Shastras, the Puranas and so on, they were corrupted by the British as well. They translated them to vernacular and distorted them. But Shastras were there, but they still were there. Classical dancing, like it's called Bharatiya Natam and so on, the sports taken away. Kathak dancing was reduced to Kothewale by the British, because there's no proofs. But they still survived. Shastras there was actively suppressed. If you did Shastras there, boom, in the head. No way. And then the military system, the British was different to the indigenous one. Shastras there was suppressed. Well, that one guy, something but he kept it alive. And now we're bringing it back. And it can be brought back. There's no question about it. There's people in the West now who are very high advanced. I've been teaching for the last 15, 20 odd years. So what's happening now is, Bronze app, you download, you see all the videos, exhibition, and I say, okay, I can give 10 paise or 5 paise to this. I can support this. But then there's a silver level. The silver level will give you 2 years of instruction. Now in Chaturanga we have 9 body levels. This is how sophisticated it is. We have 9 levels of body mechanics. The different types of energy. I can only demonstrate and show 2 on a video. The rest I have to do personally. Those 2 levels I'm going to give you is from in Punjab in 1947, when India-Pakistan partition suddenly happened. In Kalki Leela, Baba Gyan Singh, who was called the 7th Gurudrv of this Akhada, he trained Hindus and Sikhs to protect themselves, defend themselves with the art it's part of Chaturanga, what we call it Bhuttas art. So if you understand Punjabi, what a Bhuttas art means, it gets you by. Right? It's not the full classical art, but if you want to defend yourself unarmed, against knife, against stick, or fight with sticks and knives and swords, karpana, bache, burche, it'll get you by. And that art, in 1947, if there's Punjab now, that art saved it. Okay? And members of this Akhada, Baba Gyan Singh, Mahadeva Bandar Singh, Baba Ram Singh and so on, they were actually involved. So that Vidya, the Bhuttas are there on the app. Plus, the very basics of classical Vidya, Garuda, it's called Braha, Yuddhan, it's called Kurma Yuddhan, Braha Yuddhan, it's called Sheshna Yuddhan and Garuda Yuddhan, which are classical arts. Now, if you wish to learn the classical art, and this is why I'm doing this, we have to have a Gurukul system, an ashram, or we call it Akhada, where I can take a student, then teach him 2.5 years continuously. And what's the teaching include? Getting up in the morning before sunrise, meditating, similar, between 1 kadi, 2 kadi, 22 minutes, 2.5 minutes, 45 minutes. No more that because we get detached otherwise. After that meditation, you do an hour minimum of running in a special way, mass spinning. And then you do about 3 hours of Sanam Kriya Pranayama exercises, which is like a martial yoga, but includes weights and mudliya, mudgas, swimming and everything else to get the body into a shape. Then you have the breakfast. And then you rest for about an hour, and then you come back for the next 10 hours to 13 hours. First, mastering the body mechanics, how to lift the arm, move properly, and then the techniques and so on, and each you've done. And then 2.5 years of training this, because we're saying this. Saying is a tiger. A tiger cub is trained 2.5 years. So same length of time, 2.5 years, that person who will train 7 days a week like that will be the same level of Kshatriya as they were in terms of Guru Gobind Singh, in terms of Rana Pratap and so on. Same level, skill level, we can get that back. So we can do that in 2.5 years. Before that, your children, you just have to make them smart, clever, which we are lucky in India. Most kids are super clever. In fact, they're more clever than the adults. Now, that silver level in India will cost you, is a prescription. Because even to host it on Android and on Samsung, we had to pay them. That will cost you in India between, it's about 70 to 80 rupees a month. Okay? I don't know how difficult is that for you Indians to have 70, 80 rupees a month. The minimum, but okay. There's a rickshaw guy in Tiramalai down south. He approached me about 4 years ago. He says, I want to learn Chatu, because obviously they seem, because okay, how poor you are in India, you always have a phone. Okay? That's just the way it is. And he basically said, I want to learn this, but I can't afford, basically he couldn't afford the seminars. My seminar fees are very low here. It's 2,500 a day, that's 5,000 rupees, whatever, to between 2,000 and 5,000. For him it's too high, the rickshaw. I said, well, why? What price? I said, what about £1, which is about 80 rupees or 70 rupees? Is that okay? He goes, yes, that's fine. So this app will cost you monthly 80 rupees. And even if you don't train like I said, I don't train. It is in your benefit, your nation's benefit, to support the app. Okay? Even if you say, okay, I'll pay the 80, I don't train, but think of the benefits. If those skills or Kshatriyas that Rana Pratap had, Prithviraj Chauhan had, I mean, I'll tell you what, I mean, Jatin, you come here. So Jatin is a long-time martial artist. He trained hard, and he lost his hair training so hard. Now, so which martial arts have you done? Tell him. Okay, tell this. Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. I started training in karate in 2001, and after doing my black belt, I started doing boxing from IG Stadium. Then after some time, I moved to Muay Thai. So I did some training in Muay Thai, then Kalari too, and then JKD and MMA in between. So I've been doing this martial arts from approx 19 years now, and in 2011 I watched some of Gurudrv's video, and I knew that there is something very subtle in this art, and I immediately understood that this is something that belongs to us. It is something which is related to our roots, and I wanted to learn this. But at that time, Gurudrv was in London, and we were just praying that someday we'll go to
So how different is it to what you learned so far?
Body mechanics, if I compare it to most of the modern martial arts, it's completely different. In most of the martial arts, we emphasize on muscular power and speed, whereas in Shastra Vidya, we emphasize on gravity and the natural, your natural posture, even the body mechanics. And even if you are doing different martial arts, like if someone is doing karate or boxing, you can use these principles and enhance those particular arts.
Okay, sit down there. Let me give you a little quote from a Japanese sword master. So Japanese kenjutsu swordsmanship is one of the most advanced in, and if you think of samurai, you think, oh yes, Japanese here. And this guy is an American guy as well. Luke LaFontaine, sword master. He trained me for the whole week, because I get trouble all the world like. And this is what he says about Shatan, just to get you out, because you Indians are very strange. You know? If they present you something that's your, you was just don't in Punjab like the Monday can't get married. They go out, go to Dubai, come back, they go outside, come back in. Because Indians don't recognize God, it's just a rule here. That's why I have to leave in 98. When I came, I said, let's go to 94 there. Margaret said, show the Vidya outside, get people to recognize the Vidya in the international world, then come back. So this guy, LaFontaine, he goes, this is his quote now, he says, the Hindus seek art of swordsmanship and the full art of battlefield fighting. I am incredibly impressed with the full range that is within the art. It's a complete art within itself in terms of being an ancient and unspoiled, unfiltered and unchanged. Unspoiled, unfiltered. I can see where so many other martial arts have derived a lot of their original movement from the Indian art. the misalignments, the deceptions, the body movements, the distancing, the art itself, I'm so impressed at the fact that it's a complete martial art here to learn, and the subtleties are endless. I'm really impressed with the fact that there's so much to be learned, and you have to be very, very, very patient to learn this. Then he goes, this is interesting. There are very, very few arts left in the world that are whole and complete as a system from their beginning. If something was begun at the 10th century, 11th century, 14th century, 6th century, very few things now in the Western and Eastern martial arts are still a complete martial system from their beginnings. This system is complete from what I can see, what I have experienced. It's reviving the art of Krishna, the Chakra, the Krishna, Ram, and so on, unarmed way, not just physically in terms of fighting. Even if you are elderly and physically weak, the body mechanics can make you healthy. I've shown people, there's a young girl in America who has multiple sclerosis. She can't walk because her muscles are all. I showed her how to walk without using muscles. Old people who can't get out of the chairs, you can show them how to get up using body mechanics. It's easy to learn as well. This art exists at silver level, 80 rupees or so, and then the gold level is for our guys who are training permanently. So I want to make sure I preserve the art. So my whole endeavor, my whole life is simple, like to preserve and revive this art. I'm button bound for this. So whether I succeed or whether I fail doesn't really matter to me, because I've reached that kind of already, like. Because I learned the art, hard bit there. I'm happy. I'm content in what I do, like. I'm only doing this if the Indian nation, alongside the Veds and the Shastras and the Purana and Gurbani, alongside the spiritual traditions, like Yoga, alongside core, then take this martial tradition hand in hand, the Shakti. Go to your mantras. Every devta apart from Brahmaji, they all Shastra Tari, right? They all have Shastras in their hands and so on. We're going to revive this, and the complexion of India will change. No longer you'll be just nerds, you'll be super nerds. I'll end here. So the app will be out, and my friends here will advertise it. You can come out, but like I said, think like this. Even if you cannot do the art, support the art, talk to other people out there, get them to support the art, and even if we do Das Pesa in here, we can build those ashrams here. I can train these guys up, and then we can undo what the British did. I am actually building a Khada in 5 years' time in England, in the backyard of England. And the two Nishan says, I'll take it up in the hands. We've got one original one. We're going to put them back in the British yard right there. So we're reviving it in England. And there's others who will do it in Canada, America. Indians will do it here. There are 1.3 billion Indians here. We can do this if we decide to do it. Carry on.